right. Yes, there we go. Sometimes OBS is a little weird. It like delays for some reason. But anyway, YouTube viewers and Twitch viewers, it is that time again. It is Wednesday. Technically, it is Thursday. We were whatever. It is time for the Obi-Wan Kenobi review. I'm joined by the co-host, Miss Noodles,
Hi.
and we're going to talk about
That's
episode. What were you saying, sir?
nothing. Just saying hi.
Hurrah! So after a quick
Um,
entomology lesson, we are going to be doing. We're recording, and I'm a little put out, so we're going to kind of keep this one on the shorter side, roughly about 30 minutes or so, because I want to take my toys and I want to go
I'm,
home. Damn it!
you can't rush Obi. I feel that's disrespectful.
I know, but I won't go home. I got my butt kicked for at least 4 or 5 times, and I didn't even need to. From software, I understand. I love your game. Do not, don't anybody, don't say I hate this game. I love this game, Elden Ring. Why
Yes.
did you make the dragon on crack? Why? Like, are you just like secretly giggling at everybody who's just like, I can't, oh my god. And then
I mean,
come to find out, you don't even need to kill the thing to progress. You can just run right by him. You know how much time I would have saved if I had just realized that I could
uh,
run right by him.
I wonder how many people just didn't run past and wasted a lot of time.
So anybody who's in that position, if you go to the moonlit altar, I think is the name, and you're fighting Glenstone Abu, I'm sorry, Abdul, whatever his name is. I'm gonna call him Glenstone Abu. Um, you don't need to fight him to continue Ronnie's quest line. You can just go, slip the ring on her finger. You guys can have a nice little private, court hitching, and you guys can live your merry life. You don't need to fight the dragon. Don't be masochistic. Or be masochistic. I don't judge.
I, yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with the Elden Ring. So
I,
if you're from YouTube only, then check out the Twitch.
yeah, this is where we were. Well, actually, by the time this goes up, you guys will already know, but well, you'll know by the when you watch this video. Um, we will be doing a full Elden Ring series from start to finish. Yes, I have been playing Elden Ring on Twitch with a different character, but I feel you guys are kind of left out. So I'm gonna throw you guys a bone, and I know you guys enjoy the Elden Ring content at least. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get the numbers right while I'm looking at it.
Mm,
So by far and large, make sure that's gone. So you guys enjoyed the Elden Ring video a lot. You guys also enjoyed the Carbot animation a lot. So when he does another video, we'll react to that. Carbot Animations definitely deserves all the 1.38 million subscribers. Fucking fantastic guy. Never met him. See his videos. He works hard, I can tell. But we'll do a full Elden Ring playthrough. Right now, currently on our Ice Boy, I renamed him to be Belgarian. I know, real original. If you guys have ever read the David Eddings, The Belgariad, you'll know where I get that from, and that'll be just a little inside joke for us.
mhm.
Um, but I think I'm gonna run an entirely new build and see how it goes. Because the ice guy, I mean, Noodles can tell you, man, that dude has no right being as badass as he is.
He is very, very cool.
Like, I should not be
Um,
killing bosses that are at least 20 levels higher than me, and I am. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying this as a matter of fact. The build that I am running, and if you guys are really interested, I'll find the channel and I'll find the video again, and I'll do a reaction to it if you guys really want. Um, Also, this weekend, Range Day is coming. We bought a lot of ammunition. As a matter of fact, a lot of ammunition plus what I have on my desk, or not on my desk, on the table. so we're gonna get a whole family together, and we're gonna be shooting a little bit.
Yay!
So, and this also includes my uncle, my grandfather, my grandmother, my brother, my mother, my father. Like, we're bringing the whole kit and caboodle down to the range, and we're gonna have at it. I mean, I have.
Fine. No, I don't need an invite. No, it's fine.
You're automatically invited.
Mhm.
Didn't you get it?
No, it's fine.
Didn't your secretary reach to my secretary? Wasn't there some communication here? Do I need to fire my secretary?
Fire her.
Fire her? All right. Well, she's fired. Matilda, you're looking for a new job. I'm kidding. I don't have a secretary. I don't know anybody named Matilda. My mother really enjoyed this episode of Elden Ring. Or Elden Ring. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Oh, mother, that dragon that I said all those mean things about. Want to know something? I didn't have to fight it. So I was just putting myself to the meat grinder for no reason. Yeah. Oh, we need to talk to Dad about the window seals and everything. Since it's been raining and since it's getting so hot, the buggies are starting to come in. The bugs. Because, Florida, you can't have anything without bugs. Mom. Mama. Mother. This guy was like this big. Right across my desk. Yeah, I freaked out, actually. And then I gave a quick entomology lesson to make sure everyone knew that we didn't have a dirty house. It's just Florida. They come in. Huh? We don't. No, we do not. We have Bob.
Who's Bob?
Bob is our little robotic vacuum.
Oh.
He's been on the fritz lately, so he hasn't been doing his job. He's not feeling that great. His replacement should be here within 3 to 5 business days. Other than that, we have a fairly clean house. So, anyway, going with before it becomes a problem, which it shouldn't be. No one read too far into that. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show, episode 5, I felt relieved about it. And also,
Really?
I'm kind of sad.
Okay, why are you sad and why are you relieved?
Un momento. Yes, mother. I don't know where. He probably crawled out the fucking window. Contain the squirrel. Alright. This is some of the stuff that can be edited out.
Oh my god.
Oy vey. My mother's having a collective kitten over here. So anyway, people are just gonna go ahead and assume. Leave it in, fuck it, whatever. Assume what you want. I know the truth. I don't care. So I was kind of relieved and I was kind of happy with the way that it's finally like ending, if you will. We got one episode left and it's kind of, do you mind? Thank you. You can't get good help around these days, I swear to God. Anyway, so
I'm thoroughly sad about this episode. I mean, it was very, very good, but
the reason I'm happy is because we're finally seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi act like General Kenobi. Not Ben, not the old man, not the hermit, not the guy who doesn't give a shit about anything but Luke. We're getting General Kenobi again.
I still think you're being harsh, like way too harsh on him.
And that may be true, but I've grown up watching the movies, the TV shows, so I mean, I kind of came in this with a personal bias, obviously.
Okay. So you think you're better than me? That's what you're saying?
I'm not saying that at all. Why are we reading into things now? Whoa! I am French. I surrender. I bring croissants. Any French people watching this?
He's just kidding.
I'm making jokes. That's all I do. No one get offended. This channel was built on no one getting offended.
No, I know what you mean. He was definitely like more like, take charge and it just, oh man, I don't know. You go ahead and start because I'm just all over the place, kind of like just a mess of like thoughts and feelings, and just I'm sad. But go ahead, you go ahead.
So, I mean, we start out with Obi-Wan going back to Jabim, right? And then we find out Vader's following him to Jabim through Lola, the little robot. I knew that. As soon as the eyes turned red, I was like, it's gone. You gotta have to kill the droid now. Because that's like Empire 101. You can't break them. Let them free and track them back. If the Empire was any, I'm an Empire fanboy, right? If Palpatine and Vader were not running the Empire, I think they would have done a very good job. You know,
You're a fan of the dark side?
I am. Let me put it like this: if I could not be a Jedi, I can't do the pacifism thing, the whole like peace, love, da 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 da. I can't fucking do it. And here's why: someone cuts me off in traffic. And I mean, like, cuts you off. Like, Florida cuts you. I mean, Texas may have bad drivers, but Florida takes the fucking cake. I mean, we take, like, a 7-tier wedding cake with figures and all on the whole shittiest drivers.
You said it again.
Do you want me to say it 3 times fast, Mom? Figures. Is this the word of the day?
Yeah.
Figures, yeah. What was the one from, like, 2 days ago? This is what we do, by the way. We sit there and laugh at each other for how we pronounce words. It is the word of it. We have like a word of the week, like all the time. One of them, I don't remember, but I say it completely different than everyone else. They say it the correct way. Apparently, I just butcher it.
Caribbean?
No, I say Caribbean.
Yeah, me too.
So one, I don't remember them off the top of my head, but apparently figure,
Caramel?
huh?
Caramel?
Caramel. That's one. Caramel. That's how. Or, well, Mom, how do you say caramel?
It depends. When I'm in Florida, I say caramel. When I'm in Tennessee, I say caramel.
Yeah, in Florida she says caramel, in Tennessee she says caramel.
Yeah, I say
Caramel.
caramel.
Give me them caramel crunches. I'm not making fun of you, Mom.
It's caramel.
It's caramel. It's caramel, you know. Caramel. Gotta get them caramel popcorn seeds, you know.
Okay. Do you know? Okay, we're so going off.
It's
so
fine.
I'm just gonna say,
It's fine.
Like, we're the nut. I don't want to say it. I want to hear how you say it. Okay, so the nut that is. Go ahead. Name some nuts.
So you got cashews, almonds, pistachios,
Mm-hmm. Starts with a P.
pecans,
Say that again.
pecans.
I see.
Okay. Fucking pine tree nuts. Those are a thing.
Would you like a pecan?
I don't. I mean, I'm assuming my mother says it pecan.
Actually, I say caramel.
Do you?
How did she say it?
She says pecan.
Pecan.
Yeah, she says
Pecan.
pecan.
Called pecan.
Pecans.
Pecans.
Pecans. My grandfather also called a roof a rough.
A rough.
Rough. You need to get up on the roof there and fix it.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm exaggerating the accent. He didn't really sound like that. He was a well-articulated man. But every now and then, it just, you know. Poo. Poo. P-O-W-L. Poo. I've heard people say that. Oh, oil. Oil is one, and for years I said oil. Oil. Instead of oil. It drove my brother nuts. Oil. I'm really trying to think of some of the. You change the oil in the car. Yeah, I do. If I think about it, I will say oil. I will normally say oil because it drives people nuts.
Okay.
I'm really trying to think of one of the ones. For the first time I ever read the word somber, I thought it meant sober. That was a very interesting English class day. she asked me to read it, and then I had this like perplexed look on my face. She's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, what does his sobriety have to do with this sentence at all?" She's like, "Somber." I was like, "Okay, saying it again doesn't really make a difference. What does it have to do with his sobriety?" She's like, "No, it's like a melancholy feeling." I was like, "Okay, I understand now."
How old were you?
I was probably 14, 13, 14 at that time. And this is also coming from a guy who read the first 3 Harry Potter books in the 4th grade.
Okay, nerd.
No, it just means I have a higher reading. I can read.
I'm just kidding.
I like to read.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Oh, a lot of them came from the books that we read. That jogged my memory. So there's a race of people in one of our favorite books, The Belgariad, called the Drasnians. I said the first time, because you read things differently. I said the Drasnanians, because I pronounced the A and the I different. So I put emphasis on that. There's another dude. His name is Belzedar, Belzedar. I hit the R and I hit the AR and stuck the landing on that bitch. My father
Like
says Belzedar. I say he says Belzader. I say Belzedar.
Belzedar. Belzedar.
See, I know I'm not the only one. Thank God. My mother says Belzedar. Or is it Belzedar? Yeah, it just kind of like rolls off the tongue. I still can't pronounce when I'm reading one of the characters' names. I can read it, but when I try to pronounce it, what the fuck ever. There's a K and an H right next to it together, and I see that, and my brain goes, eh. Like I got nothing. Oh, Polgara and Polgara. That was one of them.
Okay. I'll be right back real quick.
I say Polgara.
1 sec.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Barak instead of Barak. Barak. Yeah. I pronounce things very weird, but they make sense to me. I also spell things very weird. I spell things how they sound. It makes... I spell with my spell checker, as my mother puts it, yes. Would you like to come over here and sit beside me? There's a chair right here. You can join in the frivolity. But yes, I spell things. It drives people up the wall because I will spell a word how I think it's spelled and it makes sense to me. Then my spell checker's like, yeah, good luck, fucking dude. I have no idea what you're trying to go for here. Here's carcinogenic. That's not close to what I was spelling, but okay. Don't even get me started on my handwriting. There's a reason I type. My handwriting is atrocious. I type things now instead of actually writing. I hate writing out an actual essay. I hate it. Thanks, Mom. Thanks. They can't actually hear you. They'll probably be able to hear that you're talking, but they won't be able to hear what you're actually saying. And I think that actually makes it a little bit better. Because I can hear it just fine. You guys can't. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can't spell the word observatory. Still, it's probably one of the easiest words in the English language. Can't spell it. I know what it is. Anyway, going back to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Segueing back, because space and everything. Follow here. We're gonna circle this bitch like 4 or 5 times before we even finish the episode. I lied when I said this is gonna be a 30-minute episode. Buckle up, kids. Get the popcorn and soda ready. It's
I'm
gonna
back.
be a
I'm
long
sorry.
one.
I had to take my baby girl to the other room because she was not chilling out.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I was entertaining the people with explaining how I spell words the way they sound, not the way they're actually spelled, because English is confusing and I don't understand why. I can spell
No.
phone, Phone. That's fine. But when I was younger, it made no sense that the P and the H make a F sound.
Like phony.
Yeah, it's like, why? What? And who was the crack addict that sat there and said, "PH, got it, done"? Like, why? I feel bad if someone has never heard English a day in their life. They come to America and they want to learn English. Good fucking luck. I have been speaking the language for 22 years of my life, and I still am fucking it up.
I think you're good. You have a very wide and established vocabulary. So I think you're good.
That doesn't mean anything if I can't spell half the words I know.
I disagree. I mean, you don't really need to spell them.
You tell that to my college English professor. You need to know how to spell these words. Yeah. Look who's teaching English and look who's going to be a gunsmith. Yeah.
Oh my god, shush.
You'll know how to write these. No, really, all I need to know is units of measure. Millimeters. Calibers.
Really so far off.
Yeah, as my mother said, and as I said, like 2 minutes before you got back, I was like, buckle up, kids, grab the popcorn and the soda. We're gonna circle the fucking wagons. We're gonna be here for a while.
We can do like a random stream and then do the Obi one like after.
I'm sorry, what, Mom? Circle the wagons, park your bus, boys. We're gonna be here for a while. That tickled my mother's funny bone. Gotta love it, man. There's not a day wasted in this household.
I say we do a random stream.
Honestly, I kind of feel doing the Obi-Wan thing. I mean, it's really like we're gonna kind of tie it in somehow. We're gonna get to it at some point, man. Like I said, guys, pull up the Mike and Ike's, or just the Mikes or the Ikes, whatever you like. Hey, don't you hate on?
Ew.
Don't you hate on the fucking Mike and Ike's, bro?
Oh god, no.
They are the
No.
best 99-cent candy you can fucking get.
Please,
Besides
like,
Whoppers.
no. Oh my god, it just got even worse.
I'm sorry, did you just say Whoppers were bad?
Oh my god, what is wrong with your taste buds?
A lot of things, smoking one of them. But what is wrong? What? It's
That's
chocolate over like a wafer. Do you like Kit Kats at least?
Yeah, Kit Kats.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're 1 for 3 here. We're good.
I don't know. I think we have a lot of things not in common, but
Well, I mean, yeah. But that's why you're the co-host, because you're different than me. And if it was just me and me, it'd be kind of boring, you know? You got to bring
I don't
different
know.
perspectives.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I feel
Well-
like a lot of people who have like co-host situation where they're kind of like the same, like they have, like they're very similar.
Yeah. I realized just now that I have to get new batteries for my vape. And I don't want to get up, but I know I have to. Because, like I said, my brain is off on so many different tangents, and they're gonna all like converge on Obi-Wan like an hour later for some reason. Welcome to ADHD, ladies and gentlemen. You can think of 5 fucking different things at once. I can literally, it drives people nuts, but I have a 2 monitor setup here. I have a monitor over here and a monitor over here. I can literally have my phone playing YouTube, right?
No.
My phone playing YouTube. I'm playing Elden Ring or something, and I have something else like an article up here, and I can be doing all 3 things at once, and I can tell you what's going on in them. It's ADHD. It's lovely.
That would drive me nuts as well, and because I'm again totally the opposite. Like I can't even think about 2 things at once, much less do 2 things at once. So it's like I would, if I was like sitting next to you and I was like seeing that, it would probably drive me nuts.
It drives my father nuts. I don't. True. He did not have a brother, so he has only child syndrome. It's okay. We still love him. Segueing back into what we were supposed to be talking about, but before my brain decided to follow the fucking rabbit and just go down the rabbit hole all the way.
I
Oy.
seriously think we should just do a random stream.
Just do like a podcast.
Yeah,
I still
like
feel like talking about Obi-Wan though, and the people deserve an Obi-Wan thing. I mean, we've been very timely about this, but you know, just take this with a grain of salt. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi review and etc. Random shit.
Okay, then you go ahead and start.
So, I mean, we get to Jabim, and things are just looking ragtag as all hell. I mean, it's like they're throwing literally just pieces of rebar together and hoping it'll fly because they know the Empire's gonna find them.
Yeah.
They always do. But you know, Obi-Wan's like, I'm gonna help, so he tries to help. Then Vader's like, nah, I don't think so. Uses Lola to shut the
Door thingy.
yeah, that thing, that word. Why, brain, did you just decide to fucking flatline right there? I don't. Thank you for the save.
The like, entrance hatch or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, I knew that was. I kind of figured that's like, okay, now they're cornered rats. What are they gonna do? But I think the Empire kind of forgot. Even a cornered dog is at its most dangerous when backed into a corner. You know, obviously it's a cornered dog.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, of course you're gonna. And you know, the whole promotion of the third sister earlier in the episode, I see it coming. And you know, I'm okay with the third sister now. Her reasons and her motives were made clear in this episode, and I get it. I understand.
Okay, when you say you're okay with her, like, what do you mean?
So I understand her reason for being such a, well, her actress for playing such a good villain. You got a great backstory. And that comes out a little bit later in the episode, which I kind of figured. I think you and I called it in the last episode about her. She was one of the younglings in the temple. I think you and I called that.
You had to have called that one because I don't remember thinking that.
I watched the episode 4 back, but I think you did. You called it as well. I think you called it as well. Which I don't think they kind of like kept it a secret. I think they kind of like broadcasted it. It wasn't really like that secretive.
Oh, okay.
Looking back.
I felt like it was a major like twist. Like if you're not someone that follows like, you know, on social media or any of the updates or interviews or whatever, like I feel like that was like a huge reveal. And yeah, like I mean, I don't know how I feel about it because do you still see her as a villain?
Yes and no.
See?
I see her in a villain in the way that she follows the way of the Sith. However, I understand her motives, and it's a more relatable. And this is the one time I actually am okay with them making people like a villain more relatable. Because one of my biggest criticisms about the sequels was they were like, oh, we're just gonna try to make him misunderstood and people can relate to him. Now you make that son of a bitch so evil that he's feared. Not because he throws a temper tantrum and destroys everything. That's what a child does. I'm not hating on Adam Driver. He's an amazing actor. I just think they could have written his character better.
I'm sorry about the noise.
I actually didn't hear anything.
Okay, good, because it's pretty embarrassing.
But so I this time I kind of was okay with being a little bit more, because I mean I get her fall. I could see how someone falls like that. The Grand Inquisitor, which we'll get to later, he's a separate story. I feel like I don't know exactly when Palpatine approached him about this, but he was kind of like the way I think of it, he was the inside man when Vader marched on the temple. He like opened the door and just made sure everything was ready for Vader to come through and just start laying waste. That's how I kind of feel it went. However, that may not be true because we don't really know. So
Go ahead.
I'm fast forwarding a little bit because here we are on the planet. They closed the blast doors, and might I say, whoever constructed that fucking door needs a pay raise. Because you're hitting that bitch with heavy artillery multiple times in the same spot, and it's not buckling.
Yeah, they definitely seem to like they knew
They
it would
picked their
take.
stronghold well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I was like, damn, that door is really impressive. Now I see why they're called blast doors. Gotcha. And then we get the fake parlay, which I enjoyed because that's like, oh, so Obi-Wan is like, hey, tell her I want to negotiate.
Oh.
Obi-Wan is famous for this in the Clone Wars, like, hey, let's negotiate. And it's technically a war crime in the Geneva Conventions, but thankfully Star Wars doesn't follow the Geneva Conventions. It's flying false surrender, something like that. I don't remember the actual term, but you act like you're surrendering so you can gain an advantage on the enemy. Basically, what he did, and I enjoy that because that's the General Kenobi we know, the negotiator.
I feel like okay, yeah, keep going.
Okay.
I have the pop.
All right, so yeah, he's talking to her, and her entire backstory just unfolds, which I kind of figured that's how it was going to go. Because when she figured out who she knew who Vader was, she knew Vader was Anakin Skywalker. That and Obi-Wan kind of hit the nail on the head there. That's a very closely guarded secret. How did you know that? Unless you were there. Do makes much more sense because she would have seen Anakin slaughtering the younglings, and I gotta say, hats off for the dude who went full blown into the dark. Not necessarily, it's not dark humor, but dark content, if you will. Because, spoiler alert for me, I really enjoy. This is gonna make me sound absolutely fucking mental, but I enjoy dark things. Like if it's got a darker element to it. That's why I like Fallout. It's got that dark, gritty, not necessarily realistic because obviously they're in space with laser swords. Not really realistic there, but it those dark undertones where Anakin's in the temple in the flashback, just I mean laying waste to these kids. I'm not saying I enjoy watching kids die. Don't take that in a weird way. Um, I'm just saying I'm glad they're going full throttle into the effects of Order 66, just the brutality of the entire order. Because I mean, it was a brutal period, and it was not good if you were a Jedi. So I'm kind of glad they're showing the full scope of what happened, like the full like how far Anakin fell. Like that's where I think we start to understand fully what Order 66, like all the ramifications of it.
So you mean like when they were like fighting with, like when Obi was fighting with Anakin?
No, so when Anakin marches on the Jedi Temple during Order 66, it's called Operation Nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically slaughtering all the kids. What I'm saying is, I'm glad because my mother, who was sitting behind me, she would not let me watch Revenge of the Sith because the implication was there that he killed kids, and that was such a taboo no thing to do in the early 2000s when it came out. It still is. It still very much is. But they kind of went full throttle into the look how far your boy has fallen. And they're like, this is not Anakin Skywalker doing this. He's killing kids. This is Vader. This guy's bad.
I don't know. I feel like it is Anakin. Because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, wasn't he like Vader, like, once, like that whole final fight with Obi and and he like the whole lava situation.
Unfortunately, most people would probably assume that's when he became Darth Vader. He became Darth Vader when Mace Windu got his hand lopped off, and he betrayed the Jedi Order. The moment he went down that dark path, that's when he and fully embraced it. I would say is when he became Darth Vader, and he knew there was no going back. In Episode 3, you'll see when you watch it. Episode 3, he cuts off Mace Windu's hand. Mace Windu dies. He literally steps back and says, "What have I done?" He knows he can't go back now. So I mean, the only way is to just go full force, just suns out, guns out, just go. You're going, because now you have no choice.
I don't know. If he didn't become like, I don't know. I guess maybe because I haven't really seen them, so I don't know. Like, sorry, I'm kind of
No, you're fine.
distracted right now. Like I don't really. It's hard for me to like know, like have my own perception of like when he turned into Vader. But I mean, seeing the flashbacks and those flashbacks between Obi and Anakin, which
Oh my god, they were gut wrenching.
I know. I didn't even know that was Anakin. I was actually gonna ask you. Is that Anakin?
That was, and I actually wanted to touch on that. I'm glad you brought that up. So the CGI on Hayden Christensen's face. Hayden Christensen has aged. It's okay. We all get there. It's a distinction of gentlemanly. You have made it, friend. You're older and you're wiser. I like the CGI because I mean you look at Hayden Christensen's face, right?
I'm raising my hand right now.
Oh yes. Student in the back. Well, yes. What is your question?
I'm sorry for interrupting, but when you're saying CGI, like I didn't notice. I didn't know. What do you mean CGI? Which part?
So if you look at the stream real quick.
Oh my god!
I
was gonna tell you. Like, wait a minute. Like those clips, they were not from the movies.
No, those are totally for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I found something out which is really interesting, which I really like.
I didn't know it.
Yeah, he had CGI over his face, and you could tell when before the two were practicing before they started. You could tell that it was just a little bit CGI'd.
What? I couldn't tell.
Once you see his face recently,
I don't know. Maybe you can tell because you've seen the movies and you knew it wasn't a scene from there.
Yeah, that may have been it. I'm just such a super nerd. I just noticed that detail. All right, yeah, I found the perfect picture. It encapsulates.
It had to have been from the.
All right.
From the movie.
So this is Hayden Christensen. Oh God, no! Stay right here, right here. So I don't know how well you guys can tell. We'll just make that a wee bit bigger.
Yeah, can you make it bigger, please?
A little bit bigger. There we go. Because I can't make the image bigger. Oh wait, no, I can. I'm an idiot. Here we go. There you go. Hayden Christensen. Right now, as of 2022, right?
That's Anakin.
That's okay. But I'll show you what he looked like when he was younger. Boom. Okay, so that's what he looked like when he was playing Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. No CGI, no nothing.
Okay. Sorry, I had a lag.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, so I was like, yeah, he looks identical.
See, but and I'll show you the difference. So in this one,
hair stuff.
That's a wig.
Oh.
But what I focused on and how I figured is if you look at his lips, right? You can see there's, even when he's just, I mean, obviously he's squinting, so it's a little bit more pronounced, but there's laugh lines like right on his, and that happens when you normally get older.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
And then you have this.
Okay. I got, like, I couldn't tell until you like staring at that picture with the with the long hair,
Mhm.
and then going back to the other one, like I can see it now.
Yeah, you can. I mean, and I'm not hating on. I'm not hating on Hayden Christensen. I am his biggest fucking supporter.
I mean, he looks.
He looks the same. He just has got a little bit more distinguished on him.
Haven't we all?
Yes, we all get a little. I have gray hairs. You know how upsetting that is?
I don't think you do, and also that's also just a sign of stress.
I do. Yes. Well, then again, people in my family go gray very early.
Then y'all have to stop being so stressed.
We're stressed people, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
But
that's
so the CGI, I get it. It's Ewan McGregor funding this show, as I think he's the producer. So I would assume he's footing the bill. So I get that, and I'm not hating on that. I'm saying I like that they made the attempt to make him look younger, and it worked. He turned the lightsaber on, boom! You couldn't even tell there was CGI on his face.
I couldn't tell. I didn't know what like I couldn't tell at all. Like at all at all.
I'm just a super nerd then.
Yeah. I think so, to be honest.
So-
Not that that's a bad thing.
And that was such a touching scene for me because and I gotta say one thing about Obi-Wan. He was not the best teacher. He wasn't really prepared for the role, and it was more of the two. And the last line during the flashback kind of was what kind of showed in a subtle way that it was more. It wasn't a mentor and student relationship. It was just two guys about the same age, butting heads and trying to outdo each other, right? And
I don't
that's
agree.
normal. It's normal.
I think he was a good teacher, and I don't think Obi was trying to compete with him. I mean, like obviously they were battling, or he was like
They were-
trying to train.
Yeah, they were
But
trying.
in that moment, of course, they were trying to like both win, but I don't think it was like a, like
When I say I think they were butting heads, I mean more in like a brotherly rival. You know, like if you have brothers, you're always trying to outdo the other. You're always competing. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like Obi-Wan did a good job with what he had and what he was given, but I don't think he was the right teacher for Anakin.
You're killing me with that.
Well, when you watch the movies and you watch the TV shows, I promise you it'll make more sense. Obi-Wan's master, Qui-Gon Jinn, in my opinion, would have been the perfect mentor. And that's why Qui-Gon Jinn had to die. Sith knew that.
What?
He did need Jesus. So Qui-Gon Jinn was a kind of, sorry.
I'm sorry. They killed him because they didn't want him to teach Anakin the way.
Mm-hmm. In a roundabout way. It was kind of like a happy accident, if you will. So, and I'll explain. So Qui-Gon Jinn was not necessarily an outcast, but he really didn't follow the Jedi Council. He pretty much told him to shove it and lick it and stick it. A lot of the times. And Obi-Wan, for the most part, agreed with the Jedi Council. So Qui-Gon went and did his own thing and still followed the Jedi Code to the best of his ability, but realized he's going to fuck up every now and then. And that's okay. Obi-Wan was really just hardcore, if you will, Bible thumper of the Jedi Code.
He was like by the book.
Exactly. Anakin was not an ordinary Jedi. He was a very unorthodox Jedi, just like Qui-Gon Jinn. And Qui-Gon could have taken that and just ran with it. And I think if Qui-Gon had lived, Anakin never would have fallen to the dark side because he had that mentor who understood him.
I don't agree. I don't know. I don't know. But oh my god, I have to sneeze. I'm so sorry. 1 second.
Bless you.
I'm sorry. And thank you. I just feel like there's no way of saying that without essentially like putting blame on, and maybe you are like intentionally doing that, but it sounds like you're putting blame um on Obi for what, to me, and again, I don't feel my words have much weight in
They
the
do.
Star Wars realm, you know, but like, or in general, but I feel like I feel like sure, okay, sure, maybe, you know, Qui-Gon Jinn would have had a better working relationship, training relationship, but I really feel like, from the little that I do know, I feel like there was always something about Anakin, like at a certain point, like I think it was in his nature. I think it was in his nature, and even if he had Qui-Gon Jinn, like maybe it would have taken him longer, or I mean, who knows? Like maybe Qui-Gon Jinn would have been like, because you're saying he was kind of like not as by the book, you know.
Mhm.
So what if he actually what if Anakin would have turned to the dark side even faster, and possibly, if we could imagine, even more extreme, like with, like, because there's still times when, you know, like you say, like Anakin kind of takes over again, and he's, you know, he's still in there somewhere, and it's not like 100% pure evil Vader.
Mhm.
But what if having Qui-Gon Jinn as a trainer, or yeah, trainer, where he would have maybe been more understanding or patient or accepting or whatever of Anakin when he, you know, did things against the Jedi code. Like, what if that, like, having a trainer dude
Mhm.
who was like who was essentially, I mean, it could have easily turned into a situation where Qui-Gon Jinn was like enabling him, and or even unknowingly supporting him, slowly but surely just turning to the dark side, because he would maybe grow more confident in his, like, in his stance of like, I'm gonna do what I want, you know,
Mhm.
like, y'all don't tell me what to do. Like, it could have made it worse for all we know, you know. I just feel like those are questions that are like, mm, I don't know, I just feel like I feel like it seems like Anakin's turn to the dark side was in his nature all
Mhm.
along. And so I don't feel there's any amount of things that Obi could have done differently. I feel like he always was gonna turn, and it was just a matter of when, and you know, but I don't know. I might not feel the same way when I watch the movies.
Well,
So.
I actually, while you were explaining it, I was looking up a better way to explain it. Um,
I was gonna say something that was like fucked up, but I'll be good. I'll be good.
but basically, what I'm to better put it into words, the reason Qui Gon really had to die, and it cemented Anakin's fall, because he lost a mentor who could teach him both the light and the dark, who could give him that balance. Palpatine gave him the dark, Obi-Wan gave him the light, so he ended up choosing between the two. Qui-Gon understood both the light and the dark, and the need for interpersonal connection. So it was mainly Anakin's, not necessarily abandonment of the Jedi code, but when he got married was when he couldn't go to anybody, and at least in his mind, and talk about it. He couldn't, talk about marital problems or anything like that, because he's not supposed to be married. So that added like an extra layer of tension between him and the Jedi and Obi-Wan, because he felt if he went to Obi-Wan, really he couldn't. Obi-Wan would out him, when
I mean,
obviously Obi-Wan knew and didn't out him, and he didn't know
yeah.
that. But he could have gone, if Qui-Gon was there. Qui-Gon himself was a ladies' man to the highest degree.
I mean, he has nice hair.
Qui-Gon did have some nice hair, man.
And
Liam
he's a
Neeson,
cool
bro.
name. He's a cool name.
Yeah. So I think a lot of things would have been different because he would have had that guy he could have gone to as a mentor that wasn't, really just evil and talked to about, like, hey, I realize I broke the Mandalorian code, or not the Jedi code. What can I do? And he'd be like, it's all right, bro. Let's just talk about it. You're fine. We're not gonna break. He could have done that with Obi-Wan, but he felt there was like a strain in their relationship, so he couldn't really do it, at least in his eyes.
I mean, that's on him, That's like on his perception. Like was old enough at the time to take that chance of talking to Obi and trusting in him, and you know maybe even if Obi would have been like super against it or whatever, he's still just the fact that like.
Well, I also kind of feel, and this is a little, it's probably going to be controversial. I feel like Obi-Wan's a little hypocritical because okay, let me explain before you bite my head off. So, and we know Obi-Wan had feelings for the Duchess of Mandalore, right? I mean, if you're gonna go date a girl, go set your standards high, right? Especially if you're gonna lose everything as a Jedi, set your standards high. So if you get out of the Jedi Order, you can be like, hey, babe, I just lost my job. She's like, oh, dude, I'm a Duchess. It doesn't fucking matter. We're set. It's okay. You can be the trophy husband. Gotcha. Kind of like with Anakin, like he set his sights on a queen. I mean, like, as far as like shooting your shot, that's pretty good. Because if all else fails and you just get out the Jedi Order, I mean, you can go, hey, babe, I don't know what to do. Hey, let's go back to Naboo. I'm a queen there, or a former queen. We got a palace. We got everything we ever want. We're good. So, I mean, in that way, Anakin was like, all right. But Obi-Wan was always about, you got to stick to the Jedi way. And then he's like, hey, oh yeah, this is my ex-girlfriend, by the way. And he was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, I had feelings for her. Did we do anything about it? No, question mark.
Well, then he's not a hypocrite. Because
he is kind of a hypocrite.
No, he's not a hypocrite because where's the proof? Where's the proof that he went again having feelings for someone? Like, you can't control your feelings. You can only
Season 2 of the Clone Wars, man. I think it was season 2.
What was her name? Sorry,
Duchess Satine.
Of what?
Duchess Satine of Mandalore.
Okay. I'm gonna look her up real quick.
I mean, if you gonna go for, and her sister, she's crazy. Let's just go with that. She crazy.
Is she only animated?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So far, we have not had there's a really touching image, and you see the level of his feelings for her. That's why I'm saying he's kind of like, he on the scale of 1 to 10 on the hypocrite, he's like a 1, right? He's kind of hypocritical.
I disagree.
You just told him.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Huh?
What was that?
Huh?
Say again?
Mama didn't raise no fool. I ain't stupid.
Speak up for the class.
Class dismissed.
Okay, I'll rewind it.
Go for it.
Go back and see what you said.
Go for it. You can rewind it all you want. I said it quiet enough. It doesn't matter. So,
What did you say?
I didn't say anything.
What did you say?
I didn't say shit.
I want to know what you said.
I plead the fifth. I have a right to not self-incriminate.
Yeah. I want to know what you said. I'm gonna rewind it anyway, so you might as well just fess up to what you said now, and at least you'll have points for fessing up.
Fuck the points, man. I'm already down the hole. Let's just go ahead and give me a backhoe here.
Okay. No, that's fine. Just make it worse for yourself. That's fine.
I excel at that.
Okay,
So
well,
I also forgot about the going back, like steer. So let's steer back. So before I dig myself in a grave instead of a hole. So I forgot about this, but I read in a book. I don't know if it's canon, so take this with a grain of salt, all you Star Wars people out there. I doubt it's canon. But he had a relationship in the Jedi Temple, a full-on relationship with another Jedi youngling called Tal.
Did you say youngling?
youngling. Yeah, they were young. They were like 10. So I mean, technically it's a relationship. Not 10, sorry. They were like 14.
Obi was 14.
Oh, he was 14. She was 14. They had a relationship, if you can even call you can even call someone that young in a relationship.
Okay, you are reaching. Okay,
I am not.
You have to reach that hard to try to make Obi look like a hypocrite. I think you have some bias going on. Okay, that's what I think.
Someone ate her Wheaties this morning. All right, come on, Froggy, jump.
Oh my God, you did
Let's
not.
go ahead.
You know what? You have some Obi bias. Okay, I don't know where it's.
I love the Obi-Wan show, and I love Obi-Wan as a character.
You need to work on that because you clearly have some Obi bias.
Yeah, I'm a hardcore Anakin lover. Okay, I feel his pain.
Clearly, you're not only excusing him fucking slaughtering kids and such, but
I never said that. I am not excusing him slaughtering kids.
You're trying to blame his loyal and loving Jedi master, you're his trainer, his brother. You're trying to blame him for
I'm just merely pointing out that there's hypocritical sides of both arguments.
a hypocrite. Where is it on screen? Where's the proof?
The Clone Wars TV show. I don't have the episodes on hand. Girl, don't even start.
Nah.
You'll make me. I will find the episode the minute and the second if I have to.
It don't matter because his feelings, his feelings doesn't mean he went against the code. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're not allowed to think or feel, so he can't control how he thinks or feels.
Well, I mean, the Jedi would want you to believe that.
Proof. You don't have proof of any.
Apparently, I'm just this big Jedi hater, man. Like, I'm full team Sith. Like,
Yeah,
I'm all about that.
I mean, you are. It's something you have to live with.
I'm okay with it because I mean, like I was saying, I could never do the whole pacifism, love, peace, and dandelions all the time. I couldn't do that. It's just great on my fucking nerves. Oh, violence should be your last option. Motherfucker cuts you off in traffic, and you tell me you ain't just gonna force it. You're just gonna use the force. Boink. Thank you, my lane. In the next one you go. Bye.
I think this podcast has been eye-opening. I think you learned a lot about you today, and it's that you are a secret Sith lover.
Oh, I fully support the Empire, aside from the genocide and the whole, murdering of their own employees. That's not how you get good OSHA scores, guys. And the railing thing, yeah, OSHA would have your ass for not having rails, so.
No, I feel like this is an eye-opening experience for you.
I think the discount Build-A-Bear shouldn't have won, for sure.
I mean, look, as Sith lover, you're a Sith sympathizer, so you.
I'm a Sith simp.
Yes, you are, and I don't believe that you.
Apparently, that word's banned on Twitch, so fucking Twitch.
Oh my God, it is. I'm sorry.
Simpleton. Here, that's what simp stands for. Simpleton. I'm a Sith simpleton.
No, I was saying Sith.
No, that's what I said. Sith simp.
Sympathizer. Sympathizer, not simp.
I kind of would be in the light and the dark if I was gonna be real here. I can do the light, but I don't want to be like all peace, love, and kumbaya, my lord, all the time. This is not. I couldn't do that.
I don't think that's how Obi is.
No, that's very much the Jedi. Yeah, they're all peace, love, and happiness.
I don't think so.
They're specifically designated keepers of the peace, not soldiers, even though they're generals in an army. That makes total sense. Of a war they didn't really. I mean, granted, they didn't want to be part of said war, but I mean, they couldn't really say no. At that point.
Well, I don't know. All I know is I feel like I don't know. I guess I'll have more. I mean, I do have a very limited perspective. um, right now with pretty much everything like in the universe. So, but you know, maybe I'll feel certain ways, different ways
When you
when
see
I
the
know
whole
more.
picture.
But I highly doubt that I'm going to change how I feel about Obi. I definitely don't think I will ever see him as a hypocrite because
I'm
based
not
on
saying it as like he's a 10 on the 10 out of 10 on the hypocrite scale. I'm saying he's like maybe a 1 to a 0.5. He is majority all the time. There's like 95% of the time that he is pretty much straight laced. There's just this one little itty bitty issue that he has problems with, and it's just the whole Duchess Satine of Mandalore. And it's not really a problem. Obi, you get that Duchess. That's all you, buddy. I'm in your corner for that one.
of course you are Sith lover. Of course you want him to do dark things.
It's not dark. It's human emotion. You can feel love. The Jedi don't want you to feel.
It's against the Jedi code, so you're encouraging him to be on the dark side.
Yeah, sure am. I think it would have made him a more well-rounded person. There, I said it.
I think he's perfectly well-rounded. I think you just have a issue with your whole dark loving.
Oh yeah, no, that's me right there. Yeah.
Okay,
Slaughter the millions.
Oh my
Blood
God.
for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne. Yes, that's me.
See?
100%.
Well, at
I'm
least
using sarcasm.
Okay, so we gotta get to the whole.
Yeah, we derailed there.
I'm sorry. It's my
No,
fault.
that's my fault, man. I just
Okay, so first of all, when she was, when the third sister was given the Grand Inquisitor title, like, what was your reaction?
I was sitting there thinking, I was like, no way that there's gonna be a caveat. She just got promoted so quickly. There's something else afoot. There's some fucketry afoot. Because she's not nearly as powerful as the Grand Inquisitor. There's no way. Like, she's powerful, don't get me wrong. But she's not. She's, okay, let's put it like this. She's an itty bitty little star, and he's a bigger, he's a bigger star. And then there's Vader, who's the fucking sun. So, I mean, there's some fucketry afoot.
I didn't see, like, the fucketry. I just was like, yeah, you kiss enough ass.
Yeah.
You're gonna be.
You brown nose enough.
So I wasn't shocked, but I also, like, I wasn't suspicious. I mean, I felt it was a little
Rushed.
Yeah, it was a little rushed, but I figured it might have been Vader's way of, like, I mean, I felt like it was maybe Vader's way of just giving her like what is that? I don't know how to say it.
Recognition.
Yeah, just giving her like a little pat on the back, and like it doesn't mean shit to him. You know what I mean? Like if he could give her a billion titles and little medals, and he can
she's never gonna be him, so it doesn't matter.
Right. So it's more just like, job well done for the whole giving me the person I want to find and torture and kill.
Yeah.
But like, so it's just a little recognition without like, but that's what I thought. But it pissed me off so bad when it happened. I was just like, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
Well,
and knowing, like, watching Star Wars enough, you're gonna see the whole Sith ideology is backstab and gain power, right? So the rule of two is in effect. One master, one apprentice. The apprentice is always seeking to outdo the master. Where Sidious messed up, and this is why the rule of two was so effective up until him, was the master is to actively encourage his apprentice to overthrow him. Thus, the cycle continues. Sidious said, fuck that, I like my power, I'm going to have him as my little errand boy. And, yeah, so by doing that, he messed up the whole cycle. And the
So
cycle was working for thousands of years. The Sith hid two of them from thousands of Jedi, tens of thousands of Jedi. They hid, so obviously they were doing something right.
so Anakin or Vader is Sidious's
Apprentice,
apprentice. Okay,
yes.
got it.
And it was
And
all in the rule of two always says that the master will be disposed of by the apprentice, and the apprentice will become the master and find his own apprentice. Vader actually did that in Legends with a dude called Starkiller. I really want to see him in film on live action, bring him canon, but I doubt we will. I mean, we're talking about a dude who could literally pull one of those big star destroyers that you see in this episode. Yeah, he pulled that out of orbit and made it crash on the ground.
but Vader did that, right?
Starkiller. No, Vader can do it. So can Starkiller in Legends. Starkiller was the most overpowered, just crazy with force potential ever.
Why
It was
are you
nuts.
so in love with the dark guys?
Because the dark guys have very meaning stories. And they always
But
have a good redemption arc. I love a good redemption arc. I mean, Starkiller sacrificed himself to save his girlfriend and his master. I mean, that's pretty lighthearted.
I mean, it
And
doesn't
then-
mean shit if you also kill kids on the side.
He didn't kill kids. He just killed Jedi. Difference.
I
They were
mean,
full-grown people.
So Vader's still worse.
Oh, Vader is by far the worst villain in cinematography. I dare say.
Oh man, there's so much to talk about, but it's like there's so okay, so let's talk about the shady guy, the shady
Haji?
the fake Jedi,
Yeah, Haja. That's his name, Haja.
Okay, he's still giving me like major Rata vibes.
But see, he kind of won me over, though. I kind of like him.
No, I like him. Here's the thing. I like him, like his character. Like it's kind of
It's
you
funny.
got a little comedic effect, and then you got like, I mean, he's funny. He's funny, and I like his character. However, I don't trust him, and I think they want us to not trust him, so that way there's always that suspicion kind of, and we're always a little tense, and then maybe there'll be a moment where it's finally revealed that he's on our side and we have this big relief. But either way, I don't trust him right now, and I feel like, I mean, I do think they're manufacturing that feeling, obviously.
Oh, for
but
sure.
but it's like, I don't know, do you trust him? Like, do you think because there was still enough moments where I'm like, yeah, he's clearly giving like a potentially suspicious vibe here,
Well, personally,
that-
I think he's more of like the vendor who. I mean, he's just a dude trying to make his living in the galaxy. He's gonna do whatever he can to scrape by, So I don't really necessarily trust him, but I'm kind of more on the like wow, dude, that sucks. You're on the run from the Empire, and you're not a Jedi. Ooh, damn. You're fucked. But yeah, seeing him there, I was like, ah, cool. So you weren't lying. Awesome.
I mean, no, he could easily be like a mole,
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, the Empire is not. They had surrounded the base, or they pretty much had blockaded the base. They didn't need a mole at that point. The mole was in Lola, so they already had their inside man, droid, whatever you want to call it. So why two would be just redundant. So I kind of feel like he's legit in the whole, hey, I'm on the run from the Empire. I'm kind of boned here. What do I do kind of thing.
I don't know. I still think he is not been through enough to have such strong loyalty when we've already seen that he is shady, and he his self-preservation is like number one with him. So I feel like I feel like he's playing both sides, and I feel like he's going to, and I honestly kind of still feel like he's leaning towards, like being a mole for,
The Empire.
yeah, and I feel like, so what if they're, and I have no clue because, um, oh man, then I'll be like jumping ahead, but like with what happened to their sister at the end, like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I just feel like what if there's a moment where, let's say she doesn't die, and he ends up by trying to like rat out Obi or whatever, and he goes to her thinking she is evil,
Mm-hmm.
and then she not actually being all for Vader, she like takes him out, because he would have actually done serious damage to like Obi and Team Good.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's possible, or that's like too much? Like that's too much overthinking.
I think it's a little too much everything. I think you might be on the right track with he might sell out to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
But I've held it in for long enough. I've held it in for an hour and something. So I'm skipping ahead. If you don't like it, watch the episode and you can convene in the comments.
We apologize.
Yeah, no, I realize this is an hour long, so I'm just gonna speed through a little bit of the rest and kind of hit the high notes. So we get Vader. I am really loving that Star Wars has given a lot of love to Vader because the first time we see him, it's in A New Hope and it's in 1980 whatever. So VFX is not necessarily all there. Um, CGI isn't really all there. So you see a very menacing dude just having a good old fashioned duel with a long lost buddy that he's trying to kill. So you kind of see that and you're like, damn, these guys used to be badasses, and now we're seeing Vader as a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, the man was so angry he stomped a ship. That man said, "You thought, guess again, bitch." And started, and when I saw that, I was like, "Uh-oh, you're fucked. This is not going to end well. This is not going to end well for Team Good." And he just starts ripping apart the ship like it's just a piece of paper.
I know, that looks
And I
so
was
cool.
like, "Oh my god."
I know.
So, I mean, one of the things that people forget about Vader, and this is kind of why I enjoy watching him, he's very dramatic. Anakin was always had a flair for dramatics. Obi-Wan, to a lesser degree, he preferred to use dramatic words, and he was the negotiator. And I like that. That's where they balanced each other out. Anakin was the warrior, Obi-Wan was the diplomat. So when they sent both, they could both kind of contain each other, and they would be like, all right, we tried it your way, Obi-Wan. Let's try it my way. And sometimes Obi-Wan's way would work, sometimes Anakin's way would work. So they balanced each other out. So I think in that respect, their master and apprentice relationship were very well thought out. Because, I mean, it's like two halves of a whole idiot. I say that lovingly. I say that actually me and my brother are two halves of a whole idiot, if you really look at it. But they really do just balance each other out. So Vader in his unbridled rage, who is just go, and Obi-Wan knowing Vader. I mean, you can't spend decades, I think it's like at least 2 decades with someone and not know almost what they're thinking at that point in time, So Obi-Wan was that's where I was saying we're seeing General Kenobi again, where he's using his mind. He might not be the strongest or the fastest or the best dueler, but he's got the best mind. He'll outthink you. So he's using Anakin against Anakin. Because he knows Anakin. Yeah, he knows Anakin's gonna go for the kill, so he's like, okay, let's do a little bit of treachery. Let's take a page out of the Sith book here. Let's play each other against and
I love that.
let's deceive one another. So I mean, I kind of figured. I was like, well, one thing I have to keep in mind is Obi-Wan and Vader aren't gonna die. That's just that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in A New Hope. That it would just completely bungle the timeline and it would be irreversibly damaged. So no matter what, they won't die. And that kind of helps me get through this because I'm like, okay, we know he's not going to die because he shows up in A New Hope.
Yeah, it's tense for me because even though you tell me like he's not gonna die,
And
it's still very like I don't know, like oh my god, how
are you sure he's not going to die? He looks pretty dead, you know. That's like I wasn't really worried about the Grand Inquisitor because I was like, oh, he shows up later in Star Wars Rebels. He can't be dead. Spoiler alert: he's not dead. I kind of figured that in episode 1 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I was like, there's no way this guy's dead. He's gonna come back and get revenge, and it's gonna be sweet, and he's gonna savor it. So, I kept that in the back of my head throughout this entire majority of this season. So,
There's-
no, go for it.
there's a bunch like I'm sorry, I like keep jumping around.
No, it's fine.
So the message, the hologram message that I believe that was
Bail.
Leia's adopted dad.
Yeah, Bail Organa.
And he was telling Obi, he was basically saying like, do you think that he knows about them? Like, are they safe? Because if he knows about the kids, then, and I'm assuming maybe he was saying it like if it's too late for Leia,
Yeah.
then I have to go protect Luke.
Yeah. So, and that was one of the interesting things is that with Obi-Wan, seeing that, he's like, oh shit, I'm running out of time. I really got to get this girl back home. I can't really contact him right now because the Empire is so far up my ass that if I send a signal out, they're going to get it, and then it's curtains for old Bail. And then they might find out about Luke. Vader didn't know he had children, and he had Princess Leia on the Death Star 5 inches from him. Didn't even know that was his daughter. Didn't know Luke was his son until I'd say right after, about 2 months after the Death Star got blown up. So he had no idea. So that was where Obi-Wan and Bail and Yoda really kind of were like good about keeping them away. What I'm worried about is now that the third, I kind of figured the third sister was either going to die or she was going to change to the light. I don't think she's dead. I don't think she's dead. So we see
Sorry.
I was looking at where the sabers are impaled, right? So they're impaled on like the shoulder blade area, roughly. Nothing really major.
Are you sure?
92.3% sure.
Okay.
Not very, but I'm kind of. What's up, Life of a Stranger? VIP, not at the moment. Stick around. You want to be a VIP? Stick around here for at least a year, and you can definitely earn VIP. But anyway, I appreciate you showing up, and maybe you can add some interesting discussion to the episode 5 of Obi-Wan Kenobi show. We're doing a kind of a podcasty vibe on it. So if you haven't seen it, unfortunately, spoiler alerts. If you're all right with that, continue watching. So,
But yeah. So sorry. Go ahead.
So the main worry I have about that transmission at the very end of the episode is twofold. Is she really on? Did she really kind of? Because they toyed with her allegiance a lot.
They toyed with her what?
Allegiance. Sorry, I hit the mute button halfway through because I was fiddling with my keyboard. They toyed with her allegiance that entire episode. So we find out that she's really not on Vader's side. She's really on her own side and wants to kill Anakin. Obi-Wan's like, hey, we're on the same side. He doesn't want to kill Anakin. I know he did. It would be like, and I can't fault Obi-Wan for this. I will not fault him. And I understand to a degree. It's like killing your brother. You can't do that. I don't care how horrible of a person my brother may become if he follows in that situation. I can't kill him. It's not fucking happening. This is not going to. So he's like, hey, maybe you could do it. Huh? 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 How's that sound? Huh? Huh? So, I mean, I saw that coming from a mile away. The whole
I
and Vader did too, obviously.
Okay, sorry. Finish your. Can go ahead. I have some thoughts about what you said.
The second thing I'm worried about is now she knows about Luke. The bitch gotta die
Okay,
because
but why do you say that?
Luke and Leia are the closest guarded secrets next to Anakin or Vader's identity.
But
If
you're
they
saying.
hmm?
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If they're discovered by even another Jedi, what one has found out can always be revealed. So if let's say she survives, right? Which I'm gonna go ahead and say she's gonna survive. She's gonna make it to season 2. It's gonna. I'm. Don't be surprised if she survives.
I mean, he did say like that line from the freaking white bad guy.
Yeah, the
the
Grand Inquisitor. It's amazing what revenge will do.
Yeah, like it, how revenge, keep the will going to live. So,
Mhm.
so I feel like, I mean, that was kind of like, oh, okay, she's gonna live until she can have revenge. But I guess the question is, who is she gonna want revenge on? You
It
know?
would definitely be Vader, but what I'm kind of hoping is she realizes the error of her ways and kind of goes on the good side. But what
I
I
would.
think is more likely going to happen, and Obi-Wan's going to have to kill her, is, and I'll explain. So
She's gonna
she
use
knows
Luke.
she knows of Luke. She's going to try to go after Luke
Mhm.
and use Luke against Vader. Be like, look, you didn't know you had a son. Well, you had a son. I killed him, and
Yeah,
get her revenge on Vader that way.
see, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, that's what came into my head because that's what I was asking you. Like, do you see her as still a villain? Because on one hand, we see very much that she's, she was the victim of Vader, and she's, she's not. When you said like earlier that she's following the Sith, like she kind of isn't. She's just in deep cover, you know.
Yeah,
But I guess you can argue she is if she's actually doing the things. But
I
like
think
her,
she's a villain with good intentions.
I I don't even think that. I feel like she is a. I think she's not a villain, but that her intentions are not good. I don't think she's doing it for the right reasons. Like, yeah, killing Vader would be really good for a lot of people and aliens, but and just probably the whole fucking universe. But like
No
it
argument
would
there.
so we kill so what her end goal would be beneficial for a lot of people, but
The me do the means justify, or the does the end justify the mean?
exactly, but she's doing it like for selfish reasons
Well, I
and
mean,
I'm
as
not.
far as reasons go, the murder of your quote unquote family is a fairly good one.
Yeah, but even that is like she was a child and he also stabbed her, right? So as a child, like he because they showed like when he like right, so he stabbed her.
I'm not. That was one thing I need to watch again to kind of like understand, because first of all, the whole Order 66 flashback looks mwah, fantastical, and c'est magnifique. Just looks great, amazing, and even with Anakin with the CGI face, we know this now. It looks
Mm.
great, and it's just wow. But I mean, I think she said she hid under the bodies.
But yeah, but before that, she said, I played dead.
Mm.
He couldn't just drop all of a sudden, and he's not gonna fucking notice that a child that was clearly alive is suddenly plain dead, you know. And when he was like stabbing her with the lightsaber in this one, like they showed him stab the child. Like the viewpoint was him stabbing her as a child and then taking it out as an adult, as an
Yeah,
adult. So I think he did
I
stab
think he
her,
did.
but maybe not like knowing he was stabbing her where he probably wouldn't kill her. And then because I mean he would have to be like smart enough to know that, I guess. So like he either way like he stabbed her and then she played dead and then hid under, hid with the bodies, or stayed with the
Yeah.
bodies. And then because also the other thing, sorry, there's like so much that I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So I feel like I keep jumping around.
Well, I think
But
I think we're close enough to the end of the episode where we left off to where we can kind of jump around. I mean,
Okay.
the thing that I think is gonna happen, Vader's not gonna get his knockdown drag out fight with Obi-Wan, right? It's probably not gonna happen.
Ah,
I think the end of the season is the third sister survives, right? She's going after
mhm.
Luke, and the climactic end battle is Obi-Wan and her fighting over Luke. I think that's how it's gonna go.
Man, I'm thinking that too, and I don't want to be right because I I really do feel like it's gonna be like that where because she didn't even know, like she didn't even hear that that was like his son or whatever. He just said, "Are the kids okay? Has he found out or whatever?" Because like it should do if and then stupidly he gave the fucking location, and he's like, because if he found him, I'm gonna have to go to like Tatooine, and so she doesn't currently know, like how could she know that they're his kids? So it seems like it's really like she's like, okay, I don't know who the fuck they are, but they're clearly important enough that they don't want Vader to know. Maybe she's smart enough to deduce that they could potentially be the kids, but either way, she knows they're important. So what else is she gonna do? She's already stabbed. He already knows that she's, her cover's broken, and now she's more pissed than ever. So I feel like her only choice really is to, you know, follow up on this lead, and
Yep.
eventually, somehow she's gonna figure out that or overhear that they are his kids. And like you said, I think Obi's gonna have to, I mean, obviously he's gonna try to stop that. And I just feel like because there was that part too where Vader tells her like, oh yeah, when she came up on him. By the way, I'm so fucking sorry for the way
I just want to point out that Vader was so toying with his fucking food.
oh yeah,
Oh, that
yeah.
he knew it was gonna it was like you could almost see the smug smile on his fucking face.
Well,
I
you could
was
hear it in his voice.
I was like, you dumb bitch. You got to do it now?
Yeah,
Come
that's what I
on,
mean.
girl.
That was the stupidest fucking like. Oh my god, she had the perfect opportunity in his circle, and then we kind of find out. Oh, it's so hard to stay on track, but it's like whether he was always suspicious of her or not, because he either way she could have, she was in a position where she could still have gotten the jump on him at some point, even if this whole time he was suspicious and waiting for her to act on him, like, but for her to do it at that moment
Oh, it was
where you hear the fucking saber, you hear it, you stupid idiot, you hear it. So how the fuck is she gonna think that someone like Vader is not gonna fucking be ready when you hear the fucking thing come out,
well, and the whole thing where he just grabbed he's really just showing off how I mean like I said, he's a very big drama queen. He's
Mhm.
showing that she is nowhere near ready to take on him. There's just
Oh yeah,
no fuck. Like he stops the saber
yeah.
from spinning, and then just reaches out, grabs it, and snaps it like a toy, and now just stabbed her. I mean, you were so. I would have waited. Would have waited. Seriously, would have waited. Because I mean, he's so hopped up on rage because Obi-Wan just left. He just destroyed a ship with nothing but the Force. And what are you gonna do? You gonna no bad timing.
That honestly was probably the worst possible time she could have possibly picked.
Oh yeah. And it was like the other thing that I saw coming, that we both saw coming, Tala's sacrifice. We knew. I had an issue with that. So you're gonna sacrifice yourself, right? You got the droid leaning over you, protecting you from blaster fire, right? And you hold up the thermal detonator, you hold up the grenade. No, you keep that close to your body. You let them motherfuckers get close enough. I'm not telling people how to do this. I'm just saying, if you want to you want to take out as many as you want, right? So you're going to hold that bitch right close to your body. You're going to lay down like you're dead. They're going to swarm over you. You just let go. Boom. Done deal.
Yeah.
The whole assault is over. So, I mean, it was just bad choices after bad choices, man.
Dude.
But I'm not hating on the episode. I loved this episode. I'm just saying, like, I would have done things differently.
It was so good, and it just was like, oh my god. I'm not frustrated at the episode being bad. It wasn't. It was so good, but I'm just frustrated that, like, when I watch shows, I kind of put myself in the shoes and in the characters and in the, in the universe. So it's just like, it's so frustrating.
It's like you could have waited for and the whole grand reveal of the Grand Inquisitor being alive. We both knew that he was alive. Yeah. There was no way he was dead.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't like that shock. I mean, it wasn't like shocking. It was like, ooh, you wait. You see, that was the right time for revenge. You waited. You were patient, and it paid off. So
do you think that? Oh my god, it's just so frustrating. Do you think that because they, at least to me, it seemed like they were essentially it seemed like Vader knew that they were kind of implying that Vader knew all along, like he remembered her as the kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I loved that.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it. Like he knew that she was the kid, and she was this whole fucking time where he was like, oh, you did so good and blah blah blah.
And in the back of his mind, he's like, I know exactly why you're here. I know what you want. You're not fooling anybody.
I'm waiting for it. Yeah, it totally seemed like that. It totally. So, do you think that really was the case?
Oh yeah, one thing people don't give Anakin enough credit for, and Vader, so he was smart. He was one of the things that I read, and my brother reiterated. So in the Force, every Jedi has like let's say it's a light, right? It's like a little candlelight, right? So Anakin in the Force is a sun. All the rest of the Jedis are like candles, right? Bigger and smaller depending on their Force powers, right? Mm-hmm. Anakin shone like a sun. He was so far and away more powerful than every Jedi. It was not funny. And he was also smart. You can be powerful, but you can be dumb. Even the luckiest jackass can be born into the royal line. Doesn't mean he's smart, but he has power. Anakin combined his wits and his strength, and it made him an effective leader. So he probably remembered her and was like, oh yeah, I remember you. Huh. No way this girl's like not pissed off at me. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm just going to keep it. And a lot of the Inquisitors, I equate it to like having a puppy around. So they're like entertaining, right? So they're there. They love you. And you love them for the most part. Except for when they're bad, then you have to punish them, like we saw today. You have to rub their nose in their pee, so so they know not to piss on the carpet.
No.
It's just a metaphor. So he keeps them around like court gestures. I guess that's a better metaphor, like a court jester. like a court jester. So, you know, when they fuck up too much, it's like, all right, next one in line. So the Inquisitors are nothing to him.
Yeah.
So I was so glad to see Vader being the badass, the man who struck fear into the galaxy. Who, if anyone mentioned Vader was coming, they pissed themselves because they're like, oh fuck. Well, it was nice knowing you guys. And I feel
Go
like if you get promoted by Vader, your life expectancy just went down by a number of years. As a matter of fact,
yeah.
like you
It's
have days.
Yeah. It's definitely like a kamikaze mission.
Yeah, you're just fucked.
Yeah. Like, you know, you're not gonna win. It's more about taking him with you than
How can I increase the longevity of my life? Because I mean, it just went from years to months at most. So how can I get the most out of this and maybe get an extra month or two?
Do you so real quick, cause about what's her name again? Was it Tala?
Tala, yeah.
Yeah, that honestly, it fucked me up. Like, I actually, like, I instantly started crying. Like, I was like, please fucking somebody help her. Like, please somebody, Batman, like fucking anyone, like somebody please come. I don't want this. Please no, please no. And you know, and then the bomb essentially, and I was like, oh my god, like, oh my god. And then she even was like, may the force be with you, and I just was like, okay, fine, this is what you're doing to me right now, fine.
Well, I mean, it was very telegraphed. I mean, that was a very survivable wound for the most part. I mean, blaster bolts are really, really, really bad against flesh. But there's a whole video on it. I would suggest if you want to understand like what it means to be shot and why it's pretty much a death sentence with a blaster, it kind of puts it in perspective.
Wait, you're saying it is? Wait, you said it's survivable, but
it's not gonna be comfortable. Good night, Mom. She got a gut wound. So basically, in the simplest of terms, and in the basic most layman terms, you get shot by a blaster bolt, right? It's superheated plasma.
Okay.
So it instantly bores through. It vaporizes all the matter in its path that it's going through, but it also cauterizes the wounds and it turns like liquid to gas. Gas takes up more space than liquid. So it's going to be incredibly painful, but it's survivable.
So then why the fuck did she do that? Why did she
dramatic? And to be fair, and I will give credit. She looked up. She saw that the stormtroopers were coming. Obi-Wan was already by the door. He couldn't get to her in time.
You don't think so?
No, just the amount of bolts that were coming his way. Where if he let his guard down for a second to grab her, it was lights out. She knew that.
I didn't want her
I knew it was gonna happen though.
I knew it was gonna happen from the fucking moment she saved his ass like 4 times in a row.
Yep.
And I'm like, but I mean, I didn't like. I really got attached to her like a mother, and I just like a motherfucker, and I didn't like want to like. I just didn't want that. Like, there's other ones I would be sad to see die or whatever, but like, it wouldn't have hurt so much. Like, I honestly instantly started crying.
Yeah, it was a good self-sacrifice, I would say.
Yeah, but it sucks. I wanted to see her more. I wanted to see her be able to like look at the situation and know that the good side, the light side won. And
well, I mean, pretty much with her sacrifice, they did. It bought them enough time to escape.
I guess. But yeah, that was pretty awful. So, do you think that what was the question I had for you? Let's see. Oh, by the way, oh my God. What made that even more sad, because it was already so fucking sad to me, that whole like and I didn't even realize it at first, and I was like, it just killed my fucking heart, dude. Like, it killed my heart when her robot
Yep, I knew that was coming.
with her, and
Yeah.
he like literally shot him. I'm like gonna get upset.
I don't know. I don't know what Disney and Star Wars right now is up with killing with droids. Like they killed K2SO in Rogue One, which I was like, God, I hate you. I liked that smarmy droid. You
Yeah,
killed
that was
in season 7 of the Clone Wars. You had a bunch of droids helping Ahsoka escape, and then they just get gunned down. I mean, just no mercy. And I was like, my heart, bro. Why?
it was like not cool. Like, it was
And now
not
you
cool.
got the loader droid
Yeah,
who went out like a fucking Chad.
yeah.
Let's talk about how he gut punched that one stormtrooper and probably put him in a wheelchair, if not dead. You know
Yeah.
how pissed off I would be. I'm running into battle and then I just get uppercutted by a fucking droid, and now I wake up on a medical frigate. I'd be like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, and especially even too, because they kept like earlier they were like, oh, he's just a loader droid. Oh, he's just a loader droid.
I was like, you
And
guys are signing your death warrant, bro.
yeah,
That droid's gonna
and then
remember that.
yeah, and then just slowly like going towards her, and then like
He
get
just
like
gets
shutting
fucked.
himself down like right on top of her, like to give her cover. Like, oh my God, like, you assholes. Like, that's
I
not cool.
loved that. I mean, it was sad, but it was also like it was
No,
beautiful. He was like
exactly,
a
exactly.
non-sentient being is like, I'm going to protect. I'm made of metal. I'm going to protect. I'm just saying that man should be in professional. That droid should be in professional boxing. He uppercut that man's soul to God on same day delivery, and he
Yeah.
was beating the. I mean, just like as 300 said, brawlers, wonderful amateurs. They did that. He did his fucking. He was a beautiful little fighter, man.
Yeah.
So to start wrapping this up, what would you give this episode as a rating on a scale of 1 to 10?
Bajillion.
A bajillion. See, I would give it a 9.
I would give it a 9. I was gonna say. I would give it a 9. And that's only because I'm kind of I'm kind of an ass. Like, I'm kind of hard to give it. I get it takes a lot to get a 10. Because I mean, I want just with a 10 for me, it would have to not only be pure perfection, but
Mhm.
also like what I wanted personally. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, the only
So
reason I give it a 9, not that I feel like
no,
I
no,
cut you off all the time during these podcasts, and
no,
I'm super sorry.
not even no. Be sorry. Totally cool. I do that to you too. So
But I give it a 9, and it's for a couple reasons. One,
let's.
Lola. I mean, I saw that. I was like, man, y'all need to get rid of this droid. That's just bad. That's just bad juju. Y'all need to get rid of it. So that was like a minor thing. The question that it raises about Luke and Leia now, like what's gonna happen? Third sister
Yeah.
knows they're important. What is she gonna do? That I'm a little bit hesitant because that might mess up, maybe. And then the whole betrayal thing, that I was like, really? I gotta sneeze. Hold on.
But on whose part?
The betrayal of the third sister. Like she waited till the worst time to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why it loses 1 point, because I was like, I would
Yeah.
have done that. That would have been. I've never done this, so take it with a grain of salt.
Mhm.
Um, I would have waited for my opportune moment. The Grand Inquisitor waited for his opportune moment. She should have waited for hers.
But I think that it was also like point to prove to the audience and just to her, that she really isn't ready. You know, like they
Yeah.
had been foot massager Asian buff dude.
Oh, dude,
Um,
he's. I want his gym work. I want his gym routine. Let's be real here, bro. So I
yeah.
actually learned. I think I know who the actor is. I think I finally pieced it
Really?
together. Have you ever seen
Who?
Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
Google the guy named Han, Han,
Hmm.
from Tokyo Drift, and then Google buff Asian guy. I think they're the same ones.
I mean, very, very likely. Um, I mean, that's he would have loved to see that fucking moment where she got hers because
Oh,
he
he
was the
really
one
would.
telling her like from I think the first episode like you're
Oh,
too blah blah, you're
you're
too blah
too
blah.
you're
So,
too reckless.
hmm um, so let's see. Mm,
I gotta say, man, it was a very it was the best episode by far
yeah,
so far.
it was so good. I
And
mean, I
I'm
really enjoyed the last one too, but
yeah,
uh,
it
yeah,
had some good ups and downs on this one for sure. It's like I'm really excited to see Bad Batch season 2. As a matter of fact, when I get done with this, I want to read a little. Well, actually, it's 4:45. I'm gonna watch the Clone Wars a little bit before bed. So, yeah, that's why I'm saying we gotta. Unfortunately, we have to wrap it up because I can
um,
tell I'm starting to get tired because my commentary is starting to wane.
okay, let me just ask you this real quick.
Mhm.
Please.
Go for it.
um,
Yes, student in the back, your hand was raised. I will give you the last question of the stream.
my question is, um, do you think that, and we kind of touched on it, but do you think that, because we know that the third sister's gonna be like super pissed and still
Mhm.
want Vader's head, but do you think she's also gonna be, kind of, also like Obi's enemy because before like this whole time we're like, what is her fucking problem with him?
Now
Now
we
we know
know.
she kind of
Yeah.
blames him for getting like not being there and protecting, which is kind of bullshit to be honest. But
I mean, I
anyway,
see your point, but I also agree with you.
right.
Like, so my thing is, she's like, well, why didn't you protect us, homie? I was halfway across the galaxy for
Yeah,
number one. Number
yeah,
two, I did the best I could, but I also kind of see well, why didn't you see this coming? It's like, well, he did, and he warned people.
yeah.
Right? He
And he
tried.
tried to,
Like, I'm fully
yeah.
on the whole Obi-Wan and Anakin train. Like, don't get me wrong. I just see there's some discrepancies, and it's all in the philosophy of the Jedi. I I am not the Jedi Order in the prequels. I mean, I see how they could have fallen. I see, as
Mm.
Anakin put it, I see through the lies of the Jedi. I really do. So that's why I'm more on Team Sith, because the Sith were like, "Hey,
Not
we're
really.
evil. We're gonna stick to our ways, and fuck you for doing it." And I admire that chutzpah.
Oh my god.
But at the
Please,
same time, I see the
it's
Jedi,
so
and what I really want is I really want an old Republic era, because I on the in the old Republic, fully Team Jedi, they
hmm,
were the biggest baddest motherfuckers on the block. It was
okay.
I mean, their last battle between the Sith and the Jedi was so bad that the Sith went into started the rule of two, and the Jedi started becoming peacekeepers. They were so they were just absolute knockdown drag out in that last battle that they were like, whoa, we got to step back, oh boy. And it forced the Republic, if I'm thinking of the correct battle, it forced the Republic into a peace treaty that basically said, hey, we're not going to militarize because this was bad.
I
So
mean,
I'm
so
fully on the Team Jedi and the Old Republic because they were just absolute powerhouses.
I guess I mean I don't know. I would have to see on like where would that be? One of the movies or the shows?
Uh, Honestly, the Old Republic video game, right? And then you can watch the game that we played on stream. You can watch a couple other Star Wars channels who would go into it and explain a lot of the older, like right before the prequel stuff happens.
Hmm.
So I would definitely suggest watching that to get a sense. I mean, this is
I-
also an era where a girl, one of the Jedi Council members named Bastila Shan, was married to a Republic soldier, openly married, and said, "What you gonna do about it? I'm married. Who
You
cares?"
see, like I
So
feel like I don't know.
the,
There's
I
so
respect
much.
I respect that Jedi Order because they were like, "What are you gonna do? I'm married. I'm this. I'm that. What are you?" They had balls. The Jedi Order of the prequel era thought they had balls, thought they were the biggest baddest motherfucker on the block, but it was really just arrogance.
Hmm.
And if you can't back up what you say, then it's arrogance.
Well, yeah, I get. There's still a lot that I have to see, but
Yeah, it'll
I
make
just
sense in time. I promise.
I think so. I think so, but I'm scared that we're gonna be on opposite sides of the.
And that's what's
Uh
going to make it a perfect podcast
oh my God,
because we don't
you're gonna
agree.
tell me we're just gonna be arguing.
Are you kidding? I think this has been the best podcast that we filmed because we went back and forth and we had fun with it.
I definitely had fun,
Oh
and yeah,
fuck
I
yeah.
just want. So do you think that she's also gonna be like willing to kind of kill or like kill Obi if she has to if he's in her way? Because Vader made a point to be like um it was wise of him to use you against me, and it just felt very much like if she were to
Manipulation.
make it out of this, and then to have the other dude be like revenge and blah blah blah. I feel like she may very well be team herself at the moment, which she kind of always was, but
Mhm.
like I feel like if he gets in her way, she might and her revenge on Darth Vader, then she might be willing to kill him. Like she wouldn't have before, like she didn't want to, but I feel like at this point she would kill him, and she would kill the kids probably as long as she got revenge on him,
Well,
or
what
maybe
it
not kill him, but put him
yeah,
in danger.
I agree. But
Good.
here's my ideal thing. So the
Mhm.
enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So my ideal thing is she's like, well, we're both going after Anakin. Let's team up. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Do I think she's going to use the kids as leverage for against Vader and possibly Obi-Wan? Yeah, I think that's the more likely of the scenarios.
Yeah, I think the time for her to be willing to team up with him
Was
was
right.
when he
Yeah.
offered to her, yeah.
Yeah.
And she denied it, and she was just like, I don't need you. So like now she went and tried it on her own, fuck that shit all the way up.
Yeah.
And now he her cover's blown, so now it's basically like her last chance of getting revenge, this revenge that rules her entire being, is once she finds out about the kids. So I really think you're right. I think it may end up by being her versus Obi, and
Everybody at this
oh my,
point. Or
wow.
the more likely, or the less likely of the two scenarios, and I'm adding this in because just on the off chance, maybe she just does die. Maybe she just says, "Fuck it, I have fucked this all the way up. I'm
And
out. Peace." So maybe that'll happen.
like, how though? How would she die?
I mean, if you lose the will to live, Padme did, and she wasn't
Nah,
even force sensitive.
she has too much anger, and she's too much rage and too much um just hunger for vengeance.
Yeah.
There's no way she wouldn't take her. No, I don't think she's the kind to just kind of lose.
Well, that's what
Now
I'm saying.
maybe
It's way less likely, but maybe they'll just throw that in just to throw a monkey wrench in our whole,
I
operation
would
here.
like, ideally for me would be kind of what you said, which is that there'll be some scenario and she'll end up by essentially choosing the light side by, which would have always been like her, what was meant to be for her, you know, had Vader not fucked that up as a
Yeah.
kid, you know.
Thanks, Anakin.
I mean, yeah. So she'll, you know, eventually, it's like she'll do something to save the kid, even if the kid's only in danger because of her to begin with. But like, she'll do something. She'll choose the right side and the light side, and it'll probably get her killed.
Again.
But it would be kind of like, you know, so yeah, that would be ideal for me, just so that I don't end up by being so sad and angry. But the alternative, I think, is it's either gonna be that or Obi versus her, and it's gonna be tragic, just the fact that they're even having to fight, because they don't want to fight each other, they want Vader.
Yeah.
But like, they, because of the kids, and she's stupidly would be trying to involve them, you know, it's gonna come down to that. So I really think that's how it's gonna go, and I'm excited to see it, although I know it's gonna piss me off in a good way.
It's definitely gonna be a finale to watch for sure.
Yep. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. So with those final thoughts, I hope you guys enjoyed. I would love to stay here and do like a 3-4 hour podcast about this, but it's 5 minutes away from 5 o'clock. And I apologize, guys. I apologize, Miss Noodles, that I'm calling this short. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, get this uploaded for you guys, and I'm gonna call it a night. So if you guys wanna check out more of the Elden Ring stuff and more of Noodles and I talking about just random shit in Star Wars like we do, then you guys can hop on that link in the description and it'll take you right to our Twitch. You can also check out the merch store. You don't have to buy anything, but if you do, that's great. I really like my products.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's a great way to show support to the channel, and the blanket is very soft, and I love it. So.
I want the blanket because this morning I woke up, I was like, I just need a regular, just not a comforter, not an alpaca blanket. By the way, I have an alpaca blanket. Oh my god, it's my favorite thing in the world. And it would also surprise you, I have a Darth Vader blanket. I have 3 blankets.
Oh yeah. Well, I have Stormtrooper red sheets, so yeah. Who's the bigger fan?
That's dope, and I am jealous now. But yeah, by no means do you guys have to buy anything. You guys can just show your support by hitting that like button and the subscribe. You guys don't have to comment, but if you guys have an interest, if you guys want to put something in that we didn't think about in the comment section, go for it, man. I love reading your comments. I know Noodles does as well.
Oh yeah.
But definitely.
Do you agree with this? Do you not agree with this? How correct am I, and how wrong is Glaze?
Yeah, I'm definitely open for correcting. You know, I know there are gaps in my knowledge, and
I'm kidding.
No, I'm dead serious. As I get tired, I know my knowledge English starts to wane and whatnot. But I really enjoy filming these for you guys, as evident by it's 2 hours long.
Oh my god.
But
everybody have a good night, and thank you for coming, and thank you for supporting the channel, and and showing any kind of love and support. It's awesome. Thank you very much, and Glaze, thank you for having me again.
It's my pleasure. I enjoy these, and with her saying that, I'm gonna let she did the outro for us, so we're good. All right, guys. I will see you guys if you're joining us on the Twitch tomorrow at roughly 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a new Elden Ring playthrough that's going up on YouTube. I want you guys in there. I want you guys to have fun, like I'm having fun with Elden Ring. And we're going to be trying a new build. I'm not going to do a homebrew build. I'm not good enough to make my own build. I'm going to be following a guide. So we'll figure it out and we'll have fun. But until then, guys, I'll see you later. Bye, Miss Noodles, and bye, everybody.
Later, guys.
Later.